Friedrich Nietzsche was a German philosopher known for his radical critiques of traditional morality and religion. Born in 1844, Nietzsche's thought challenged the foundations of Western philosophy, advocating for the will to power and the concept of the Übermensch. His famous declaration that God is dead was not a celebration, but a profound reflection on the loss of meaning in a world without divine authority. Nietzsche's work continues to influence existentialism, postmodernism, and countless debates on the nature of life, power, and morality.
Friedrich Nietzsche, born on October 15, 1844, in the small town of Recurrence, Prussia, was a man destined to challenge the very foundations of Western thought. His life was marked by brilliance, solitude, and a relentless quest for truth, a quest that would lead him to become one of the most provocative and influential philosophers of all time. Nietzsche's father was a Lutheran minister who died when Friedrich was just 4 years old. This loss, along with being raised in a household dominated by women, his mother, sister, and 2 aunts, shaped his early life and psyche. A gifted student, Nietzsche was initially drawn to theology, but soon he turned away from religion, driven by a profound skepticism that would define his entire philosophical journey. At the age of 24, Nietzsche was appointed as a professor of philology at the University of Basel, making him one of the youngest ever to hold such a position. His early academic career was promising, but Nietzsche soon realized that traditional scholarship was not his calling. His health, always fragile, began to deteriorate, leading him to leave his position at the university and embark on a life of solitude, wandering from place to place in search of a climate that would ease his suffering. It was during this period of isolation that Nietzsche produced his most profound works. In The Birth of Tragedy, he explored the duality of the Apollonian and Dionysian aspects of human nature, arguing that life's true essence lies in the embrace of chaos and passion. This work, however, was not well received by the academic community, leading Nietzsche further into isolation. His breakthrough came with the publication of Thus Spoke Zarathustra, a poetic and philosophical work in which Nietzsche introduced some of his most enduring ideas, including the concept of the Übermensch, or Overman. He wrote, "Man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him?" Nietzsche envisioned the Übermensch as an individual who transcends the ordinary values and limitations of humanity, creating their own meaning and values in a godless world. One of Nietzsche's most famous and controversial statements is, "God is dead." This phrase, found in his work The Gay Science, does not simply mean the rejection of a deity, but rather the idea that the modern world, with its scientific advances and secular values, has rendered traditional religious beliefs obsolete. Nietzsche saw this as both a great liberation and a profound crisis, as it left humanity without a universal source of meaning and morality. Nietzsche was also deeply concerned with the concept of eternal recurrence, the idea that all events in life will repeat themselves infinitely. He challenged his readers to live as if each moment would return eternally, embracing life fully and passionately. "Live as though the day were here," he urged, emphasizing the importance of living authentically and courageously in the face of uncertainty and suffering. Nietzsche's philosophy was not just a critique of religion and society, but also a call for individuals to embrace their own potential and create their own path. He famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." For Nietzsche, finding a purpose was essential for overcoming the struggles and hardships of life. As Nietzsche's thoughts grew bolder, his health continued to decline. He suffered from severe headaches, vision problems, and other ailments that made daily life a struggle. Yet, he persevered, writing feverishly in solitude. His works, including Beyond Good and Evil and The Will to Power, delved deeper into his critiques of morality, culture, and the human condition. Tragically, in 1889, Nietzsche's health took a devastating turn. He suffered a mental collapse, often attributed to syphilis, which left him incapacitated for the rest of his life. He spent his final years under the care of his mother and sister, who managed his affairs and controversially edited and published his works, sometimes distorting his philosophy to fit their own nationalist and anti-Semitic views. Despite his tragic end, Nietzsche's influence only grew after his death. His radical ideas about power, morality, and human potential resonated with countless thinkers and artists. He profoundly influenced existentialism, psychoanalysis, and postmodernism. Philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger grappled with his ideas, while psychologists like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung drew from his exploration of the unconscious mind. Nietzsche's legacy is complex and often misunderstood. His critique of traditional values and his call to re-evaluate the foundations of morality made him a controversial figure. His works were misappropriated by the Nazis, despite his vehement opposition to nationalism and anti-Semitism. Yet, beyond the distortions and misinterpretations, Nietzsche's call to live authentically, to embrace life with all its contradictions and challenges, remains as powerful as ever. Friedrich Nietzsche died on August 25, 1900, but his ideas continue to challenge and inspire. His life story is that of a man who dared to think differently, who embraced solitude and suffering in his quest to understand the human condition. He reminds us that philosophy is not just an academic exercise, but a deeply personal and transformative journey.